hey there, American Farmsteaders. This is Jenny with the Gramstead Family Farm.
And Donna with Hazel Bell Farm.
And we are coming to y'all from Northeast Florida as two American farmsteaders doing our best to grow our own food and share our homesteading experiences with you in hopes that you'll grow a little food of your own.
Yeah, this week, since we're not gardening much.
Right, because it's too darn hot.
We're longing for the garden. I've actually gotten a lot of garden cleanup and reset and all that done. But we are talking about the things that we wish we would have known when we started gardening.
Absolutely.
You know, the things that we've learned along the way that are tried and true garden philosophy, I guess, for lack of a better term, but
yeah, or some of the things
principles
that were maybe game changers for us. Yeah, some good solid principles to go on that you may not think of off the top of your head if you're a brand new gardener.
Yeah. So we didn't put these in any particular order.
No, not really.
This is us being prepared.
Because that's not how we roll.
Okay, so they're in no particular order. We have your top 10 things that we wish we would have done differently, wish we would have known. Okay, so then let's do this one first.
Okay, whatever.
Okay, so starting with covering soil builds soil.
Yes.
No matter which way you slice it. So there's different ways to cover soil. It could be
a cover crop.
Right. Or like ground cover, crawling, vining plants.
Right. A living ground cover. It could be mulch.
Right.
It could be
tarps in your off season.
Right.
Yes.
Any of the above.
Any of the above. So one of the things I've been working on in this hot time is, did I mention on the podcast cleaning out my friend's goat stall? I don't know if I did.
I don't know that you mentioned it on the podcast. I think you made a post about it that I saw on Instagram or something.
Right, I did. That's right. Yeah. Okay, so did it again. Went and got more.
Nice.
So basically a truckload of goat stall, manured, urined bedding. And my garden loves it.
Nice.
Yes, my garden loves it. So it's very thick, a lot of pine shavings, a lot of hay. I'm sure there's hay seeds and alfalfa seeds and whatnot in there. I'm not worried about that. I can pluck out weeds as they grow.
Right.
But it's a thick layer, and that's the key if you're going to use hay as a mulch or something like that. A thick layer, wet it down real good. It's kind of got some like matted sections in it, so I don't foresee any problem as far as weeds go.
Right.
And I've got the grass licked out of my raised beds.
Nice.
So excited about that. Yeah, under control. So yeah, that's been on my mind lately about how much, I can't believe how much my garden loves having that thick extra bedding. Now I've talked about using the dead leaves with the mower. I've done that a lot. That breaks down nicely. It doesn't last forever.
Right.
It has seemed to populate the soil life. Like I see a lot more creepy crawly things and a few worms where I wasn't seeing any before. But yeah, like not just your typical landscape cedar mulch that looks pretty in your flower garden. Like when I first started gardening, that's what I used.
Right. And when I first started gardening, I would put mulch down, and it would usually be like the pretty stuff that you buy at Home Depot or whatever.
Right.
Because that was what you did. You mulched your garden. You went and bought the mulch.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, it was for the sole purpose of, I need to do this to keep the weeds out.
Yes.
But putting ground cover down does so much more than keep the weeds out.
Right.
If it's an organic material, one, it's going to break down over time to help build your soil structure, which is going to reduce erosion. I was also super surprised how much mulching regulates the soil temperature and the soil moisture.
Yes, moisture has been the big thing that I've seen with this.
It's huge. Yeah. I mean, even though it is 500 degrees outside, I can go out into the garden and pull back that ground cover, and my soil is actually pretty moist
underneath. Yeah.
And I'm not even watering on a regular basis because we're getting some rain here and there. So
sure.
Ground cover just does so many wonderful things for your garden.
Yeah. That soil temperature has been, I think, the most I don't want to say surprising. Like I knew it would help in that area.
Right.
I'm surprised at how much it's helped in that space. So yeah, I've been excited about it and told my goat friend like, hey,
This is a regular thing now.
anytime you're ready to clean stalls, you call your girl and I'll be there. She's like, no problem.
Next week, Donna.
Yeah, exactly. So and you know, we got an hour and a half to visit, you know,
Right.
as we worked cleaning stalls.
Right.
So it was hot, sweaty work, but
Yeah. But that's okay.
it's okay. That's my favorite kind of visit.
Yeah.
Is working together.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
all right, next.
Next on the list is always start extra seeds.
Yes.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me preface this first. Learn how to start seeds.
Okay, so that's a separate principle. So we'll go there
Right.
first. Yeah.
Let's go to learn how to start seeds.
Yes.
Because, you know, you can buy a packet of seeds for, what, $3, maybe $4, depending upon what it is, and start many plants. Or you can go to Home Depot and buy something that costs an arm and a leg for one tiny little start. So learning to start seeds will save you a ton of money. You just have to be patient,
and learn the skill.
learn how to start them, be patient. You won't have instant gratification of, oh, my garden's all full and beautiful quick. But when you learn how to start seeds and those babies start popping up out of the soil, you have the gratification of, oh, look, I started that from seed.
Right.
And so in the long run, for me, that was like a better gratification than the instant gratification of having a full garden.
For me, my like happy place in that was realizing, like when I first started gardening bigger, I was still not buying seeds. I was still buying starts,
Right.
for the most part. I might buy a seed packet or two.
Right. Maybe green beans.
Right. And gosh, I thought I knew everything, and I did. And I did, and I had a good friend ask me, like, "So, are you starting everything from seed?" And I was like, "Oh no, I don't do that. No,
Right.
I go buy my plants." And then it was that year that I thought, well, why not? Why don't I buy seeds? And you know, realize that cost comparison. But not only that, the seeds that I was buying were the seeds that I couldn't find starts for. So they were varieties that, you know,
Right.
I could find that seed packet on the shelf, but they didn't have that in a 4-inch pot. And so I was able to try something a little different. And then I got a little crazy about wanting to find something that's different and
Right.
ordering seeds. But yeah, that was a real game changer to be able to have different varieties. And I was able to expand how much I grew just with the cost savings of not buying 100 transplants.
Right.
You know, like that's very expensive.
It's very expensive.
And when you're talking about trying to replace some of your grocery bill cost with the garden, that's just not feasible. That doesn't make any sense, right?
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so learn to start seeds
Yes,
for sure.
Learn to start seeds. And then our next one is always sow extra seeds.
Yes. Those seed packets are so cheap, and I will never use all of the seeds in one season. I will always sow some and then put the rest of the packet away till next season.
Right.
And then I go, why did I do that? I have this thing where I still want to go seed shopping. I should have used all of those seeds,
Right.
you know? And so even if you're not going to grow all of those plants, it's so much easier to start. And I've always done this with some things like squash, right? I've always put like 2 squash seeds next to each other in a bed.
Yeah.
And then I'll clip the weaker one as they start to grow and watch the stronger one thrive. So I've always done it to some level, but I've just started like cleaning out my seed stuff going, why am I holding on to these? It's not like end of the world, you know, like
Right.
why am I can get more seeds. I know how to save seeds.
Right.
I can always use them and then thin. And that has been something that I've started doing more in the last year because, you know, like they don't always do well. And like I'll plant the same kind of seed in different raised beds, and like this bed just didn't do that well for some reason. So thankfully I had them in another bed, but maybe if I planted more right there, they would have, and I could have thinned.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and you know, if you have those extras that you've started, you know, when you go to thin them, you can always choose your stronger plant.
Yeah.
you know? And if it's just one little plant that comes up right in that area and it's not looking so good, it's just there not looking so good.
Right. and if you lose it, then there goes your squash.
Right.
There will be no zucchini harvest this year.
That's right. So yes, always start extra because you never know.
Yeah.
And if it works out where you have a bunch of really great seedlings and you have extras, you can share them with somebody.
Yeah, I was just going to say that is my favorite part about starting seeds on my own.
Yeah.
Is that I can share little baby plants and trade or organize a swap or sell them or whatever.
Right.
Use them, sow them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you can buy more.
Yeah, I was looking at my seed drawer the other day that is still completely unorganized and thought we should have a seed swap.
Oh, that would be fun.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Let's organize one. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know what we should do?
What?
We should have a $5 admission to donate funds somewhere. Somebody who needs it.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
We'll have to brainstorm on that.
Yes.
More coming later. All right, next, varieties matter.
Varieties, right. While we're talking, buying seeds and starting seeds, it really, really matters the varieties that you're growing.
It really irks me to walk into a big box store and they're selling a variety that is not meant to grow here. They're selling something that grows great in New Jersey.
Right.
Or Arizona.
Right.
With no humidity.
Right.
And it's going to be totally blighted out here in 2 weeks,
Right. Yes. So just as our friends over at Seed the Stars always say, Ryan and Kelly, they always say locally
grown, regionally adapted. I'm sure that's
Hold on.
not right.
Are we messing this up?
Regionally appropriate.
Locally adapted. That's what it is.
Something like that.
Regionally appropriate and locally adapted. Yes, our friends over at Seed the Stars, Ryan and Kelly, they always stay regionally appropriate, locally adapted.
Yes.
Meaning find seeds that are appropriate for your region.
Yeah.
If you live in a subtropical region, kind of like we do, you need to look at those subtropical regions and what are they growing? Try to grow those types of things. And then from there, you're taking it a step further and you're making it locally adapted. So you are planting that seed into your garden and seeing how it does in your little microclimate, in your little backyard, in your soil, under your conditions. And those things that do well, those are the ones that you want to keep. Those are your locally adapted seeds.
Yes. I couldn't have said it better myself. Good job. Good job. So varieties matter.
Yes, varieties matter. That was a huge thing.
Yeah, and not just for your heirloom or open pollinated things like Seed the Star cells, but also for hybrid.
Even for hybrids.
Things that have that hybrid vigor. If you're having a hard time, man, I really want to grow corn. Like what's the dream thing you want to grow that you're having a hard time with? Well, maybe go find yourself a hybrid.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean GMO.
Right.
That's different. Find yourself a good hybrid though that, is it pest that's bothering your plant? A pest resistant corn, or something that has shorter days so that you have a shorter time frame for pests to attack it or whatever the problem is. Broccoli that bolts too quickly.
Right.
Don't buy that broccoli. Get a different broccoli.
Absolutely. Or, okay, like your family really loves pickles and you really want to try to learn how to make pickles and you really want to grow them. Search out that hybrid variety that's going to do well in your climate that is going to be a heavy producer.
I just sowed some seeds from Ryan and Kelly for pickles.
Did you?
I did. Something south wind slice. I don't know. Something
That's
like
a new
that.
one, isn't it?
I think it might be.
I think it's one of their new ones.
Since we moved, I've had the hardest time with cucumbers. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I have had way less effort in the past for way more yield. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with cucumbers. I'll get some, but nothing outstanding, nothing like I've been able to do. So I tried some new varieties, and we'll see what happens.
Right.
So I know Ryan and Kelly, they let theirs run, like along
On
the
the ground,
ground. Yeah. And so maybe that's the ticket. Maybe I'll let them run out of the box and go that way. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, yes. Variety matters.
Yes, varieties matter.
Next.
Swamp water is amazing, and it's totally free.
Okay, Mom, this one's for you.
Swamp water. Okay. You literally can make it in any quantity that you want.
Yeah.
You can start with a 5-gallon bucket. You can do a 55-gallon drum. If you really want to go crazy, you could really get a 250-gallon IBC tote container.
Ooh.
Okay?
But you don't need to do that.
You don't need to do that.
No.
I do mine in a 55-gallon drum, and I mean, it will last me a long time.
I've got mine in a 40-gallon right now. And even like when I use it, I used like half of it all at once. I just topped it off with water again, and it was
exactly.
good to go in like
And
another
it's
week.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, swamp water, you can basically put anything organic that's going to decompose into your barrel.
Weeds,
Weeds.
grass clippings.
Right. Any landscape clippings.
I made cheese yesterday. The whey went right in.
Right. The way, right. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. When my boys go fishing and they clean a fish, we're putting the fish heads in there, the fish bones in there.
Yep.
If we butcher an animal, we're collecting blood and we're putting blood in there. A lot of vegetation goes into there too.
Yeah, I started this particular barrel that I'm working on right now with just Biden's Alba.
Yeah.
I pulled a bunch of Biden's Alba and just filled up my barrel.
Right.
Topped it off with water, put a lid on it because you don't want flies getting in.
And it stinks.
And it is going to stink. Let it sit in the sun.
Yes.
Let it rot. Let it stink. That's the point,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. And when you open it, be prepared for the smell, but you usually have like a film kind of on the top of like really scary looking stuff out there. And so I have a strainer that I keep out with my swamp water. So every time I open it up, I can quickly just strain that gunk off of the top. And then you basically have just, all of your solids are going to fall to the bottom, and you basically have just this black water.
I stir mine up with a shovel.
Do you?
I don't strain it out. I just stir it in. And then it goes in the garden.
Right.
If it makes it in the bucket that I scoop it out with, it
Right.
goes in the garden.
Right.
So far, everything loves it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does. I mean, it's a great way to make free fertilizer. It's a great way to make the weeds have a purpose. They're capturing all of that sunlight, and they have, even though it's a weed, they have a lot of nutrients locked inside them.
Right.
Normally we would just pick them and pull them and throw them and throw them off to the side somewhere and never use them again.
Right.
But you can really utilize everything that they've collected and fertilize your garden for free organically.
And again, like here's where we say diversity matters all the time. This is one of those places, like the more different, weird
Yes.
stuff you can throw in there, the better it's going to be.
Yep.
Yeah. And we really have to shout out to David the Good for that. That's his thing.
Absolutely.
An ancient Korean
Right.
thing.
It comes,
Yeah.
it's based out of Korean natural farming practices. And, so they've been doing it forever and ever. And it was just kind of something that nobody was really doing here.
Yeah. Which is crazy because, we talk about like our favorite granular organic fertilizers or other like separated things like blood meal or feather meal for nitrogen, bone meal for phosphorus. Like we talk about those and how great they are. But when I got back to swamp water, 6 weeks ago, I started using it again. None of those hold a candle to swamp water.
Right.
I mean, my plants are so happy. My peppers are setting fruit again. It's 105 degrees outside. They should not be setting fruit. They should be dropping their flowers, right?
Yeah.
Squash has come back to life when it was all but dead. Like everything loves it.
Everything loves it. And I mean, being that it's a water soluble fertilizer that you're using, it's very fast acting. I mean, so you can pour it onto your soil around your plants and almost immediately notice like your plants are going to perk up by the end of the day. They're going to look greener. They're going to be happier. You can also use it as a foliar spray.
Right.
Again, very just fast acting. So,
And I've never had it burn my plants.
No.
Like you can't overdo it unless you overwater, I guess. I've never overdone it.
right.
It's foolproof.
Yeah.
It's free.
Right.
And it works better than anything else I've ever fertilized with.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Yeah. So swamp water, just do it.
I think I'm going to throw a scoop of cow poop in there too, coming up.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I've cleaned my chicken coop out before, and I'm like, oh, chicken manure's going in the swamp water. I mean,
I love that stuff. Now, it does stink, and it's one of those stinks that when it gets on your hands, it doesn't leave.
it doesn't leave. Your hands will smell like it all day.
Yeah, so gloves are good.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience for gloves a lot of times, so like I just try to be careful.
Yeah. And there has been times where I've used grass clippings where I put like the collector thing on my mower, mowed the grass, and then just take all that and put it in there.
Yeah.
And it was full of grass seeds. So in a case like that, and it's kind of like, in the kitchen, we say your kitchen, your rules.
Right.
This is one of those things, like your garden, your rules.
Yeah.
If me personally, if I throw a bunch of seedy grass clippings in my swamp water, I'm going to strain it out.
And I'm not.
Yeah, and you're not.
And I'll
so-
just pluck the grass out,
Also, I have shade cloth that's folded up in my garden. And so I'll just take my folded up shade cloth and put it over a 5-gallon bucket and then just strain it real quick through that. It doesn't take but a couple of minutes, and it keeps the grass seeds out of the garden.
Yeah, that's smart. I just don't do it. I know I should. It's one of those, like, I should probably take this extra step, but I'm not going to.
Right.
Like, I'm just happy.
And that's fine.
I'm happy to just do the thing.
Right.
So that's what I'm doing. Doing the thing. Okay. After swamp water, how about make a plan?
Make a plan. Make a plan for your garden.
Yeah. Like, have some intention.
Absolutely.
If you want a productive garden, you kind of have to map that out, what that looks like with succession sowing and variety types and how many green bean plants and all of that.
Right. Make a plan. And I mean, to me, it's kind of fun to sit down with a piece of graph paper and like draw out my garden.
And some color.
And then get out the color pencils and like you can color it, make it all pretty. And it kind of gives you a reminder. It's a little bit of a motivational tool. Like when things start going south, you can pull out that garden plan and say, it's like a refocus. Like, nope, this is what we're doing. This is what we planned on. Let's stick with the goal.
Rein it in.
That's right.
Yeah.
So make a plan. And then you can save that plan for the next growing season and figure out your crop rotation.
Yes. So the rotation goes, you tell it, because I always get it wrong. You know what? You know why I mess it up? Because I always get somebody's podcast phrase stuck in my head, and so I get it wrong with the rotation.
Right. I get it wrong a lot too.
But we have a garden cheat sheet.
Right. So your beans, your legumes, which are going to be your nitrogen fixers. So beans, then brassicas, which are very heavy. So your leafy greens, your
Right.
brassicas. So beans, leafy greens, fruits, and roots.
Okay.
Okay. So your beans are going to supply they're going to fix nitrogen in your soil. So the next thing that's going to come are your leafy greens, which require leafy greens. They want lots of nitrogen. So your lettuces, your broccoli, your cabbage, your bok choy, things like that. After that's done, the next round of crops are things that are going to require a lot of potassium.
Is it roots?
It's fruits
Oh,
next.
fruits.
Fruits.
Yes, I think you're right.
Okay. And so after your leafy greens comes your fruits, and after your fruits come your root vegetables.
That's phosphorus.
Yep.
Yes. So we have on our website, AmericanFarmsteaders.com, there is a free digital download for crop rotation.
Yeah, for crop rotation, and I think there might even be something for companion plants in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, the resources are there. Get on there and download them.
Yep. And they're cute. They're fun to have.
Yes.
For reference.
They were fun to make.
Next.
Okay. There's no right way to garden. Like it's not the same for everybody. I mean,
Right.
what might work for me it might not work for you.
Right.
And that's okay.
Right.
Because, don't get so hung up on a method or the fact that you think that you have to have raised beds. Right. Like the point here is just to grow food.
Right.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how you do it.
Right. If having a no-till garden just seems impossibly hard to start up with cost and
Right.
sourcing materials and all of that. If that's impossible for you and it's going to keep you from starting to garden,
Right.
then throw that out the window, please.
Right. That can always be something you can work towards.
Right, exactly.
And that's actually how I started my garden here. I started with tilling. I mean, I tilled for probably 2 or 3 seasons before I quit tilling. Like, I tilled it until I had it how I wanted it, and then I left it.
And there's still a place for tilling.
Absolutely.
Like there's going to be times that you have to, like, we always use digging potatoes as the example, you
Right.
know? But yeah. Don't be so hung up on, well, this pro gardener does it this way, so I have to do it this way.
Right.
Don't be like that. You'll never enjoy the process of learning to garden.
No, when
Right?
you're trying to measure yourself up to some other standard that
Right.
somebody
Well,
else
there's
is
that.
doing, like
Yeah.
that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So don't do that to yourself. Like, find a way that works for you and just go for it.
I'm reminded of so we use that no-till thing because the people who are so into no-till, like, I get it, there's a place for it.
Yeah.
But the people who, like, are really into it are very dogmatic about it.
You're right.
When my very first little raised bed, garden bed, I didn't know what no-till was, but I had watched the Back to Eden. Isn't that what it is?
Yep.
Paul Gauchi's place.
Yep.
And, I mean, I just was so into it. I was fascinated with that whole thing. Like, wow, he really is doing amazing work there. He is. There is no doubt about it. However, I later learned that the way the land lays there and the way the water table, like, runs there is
Okay.
much different from most everywhere else.
Okay.
And so, yes, that system that he's implemented there works.
It works
really,
great
really
for him.
well there, but it's not going to work so well in the desert or somewhere else. Whatever. I don't know. You used raised beds as an example. I started gardening at a house started a garden at a house that I had to put the garden right here. I was insistent, it's got to go right here. Well, don't you know that garden space was the lowest spot on our property? So as soon as we realized that, we were like, it's got to be raised beds or nothing.
Right.
Or you've got to move it.
Or you got to move the whole garden because
Yeah.
it was just collecting too much water.
Even then, the whole place was kind of low. And so,
Yeah.
like, in the rainy season,
It was wet.
it was wet. Even mounds would have been wet to walk between, So, yeah, we did raised beds, and that worked there. They weren't necessary to have where we are now, but since we had started raised beds, we liked the way they looked, so
Yeah.
we moved them. We still have raised beds.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with raised beds. Just don't feel like you have to have that.
right. No, I would never have done that where we are now if I didn't already have the beds to move.
Right.
I would not have done that.
Yeah.
Because that's expensive to build them. It wasn't for us. We used all reused materials because that's how we roll, but it's expensive to fill them,
Absolutely.
and I didn't need to do that.
Right.
So,
And I think that keeps a lot of people from actually just getting started. It's like the sheer cost of setting up a bunch of raised garden beds and then trying to fill them. And
Right.
It's a lot.
right.
So
Yeah.
don't get hung up on it.
Yeah. Be open to change.
Yes.
There. All right.
Yes.
Next.
Tap into your local growers.
Yeah. Find your people.
Find your people. One, it's just fun to talk plants and gardening with people. But this kind of goes back to the variety topic,
Yeah.
Find your local, like for us, the big thing is like fruit trees. Like there's, fruit trees are different in Florida. So for us, it was really important to tap into those local growers who are growing the correct varieties for Florida so we can actually grow fruit in our gardens. So
Yeah, and get it super local. Like in Florida, I mean, you can have very South Florida who never gets frost, or you can have where we are, where we border temperate versus subtropical.
Yep.
So like we might have a hard time with peaches and apples, but we might also have a hard time with bananas and papayas.
Right.
We're in a real struggle zone. And then there's also Pensacola, who had 9 inches of snow this last year, it's so diverse.
Exactly.
So find your super local people and find out what varieties they're growing. find out how they're growing, find out when they're planting,
Right,
what
timing.
kind of frost dates they have documented, all that stuff. So find your people,
Find your people.
because normies aren't fun to talk gardening to.
Yeah, and they're going to have varieties that the big box stores are not going to have.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Okay, and this is my favorite one. It's just the seeds are created, plants are created to grow. Okay, they're created to grow. If we can just take a little bit of time just to steward them well, I think we will find that they actually grow.
I think if we're honest, and most times we're not, most times it's the seed's fault, right? That's what we tell ourselves, or that's what we tell
These
people.
seeds must be old.
Yeah, they're just no good. I have had some seed problems, but if we're honest, most times that we are not getting a decent growth or harvest or whatever it is, and we're disappointed in our gardening, it was our fault that we did not feed it, we didn't water it, we didn't treat a disease or notice a pest because we weren't in it. We didn't treat it right.
Right.
It's usually our fault. They are created to grow. I love that. You can leave it and do a set it and forget it. It wants to grow. Plants want to grow.
Well, yes. I mean, that's why I tack on that whole, we just need to steward it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. I just don't want to harp on that, and I feel like I am.
No.
Yeah.
Well, and to be prepared for successes and failures. How long have we been gardening now?
Right.
Do things flop still?
Yes.
Absolutely, all the time. Just because you've been gardening forever doesn't mean that you're not going to have failures.
I have a whole bed of hot peppers that I thought were sweet peppers, Jenny. My family does not love hot peppers.
Well, if you want to...
And I put them in dinner the other night.
Okay, well, if you want to get rid of hot peppers...
Gosh. Yes. So there are flops to the seasoned gardeners.
That's right.
But you know what I love about plants want to grow and they're created to thrive, and that, yes, they are. And my favorite part about that is when I start to get overwhelmed or burnout in the garden because it gets jungly, right? It just does. Everything starts growing faster than I can manage. Life likes to life, and it gets away from me. And my my go-to is put your head in the sand. Don't go out there. It's going to disappoint you.
Right.
If I'm totally honest, I'm not going to look at it. I don't want to see it. It's going to be disappointing. I'm going to feel like a failure. And so I don't, until I muster up the gumption to get out there. And I'm always pleasantly surprised at oh my gosh, look at all that stuff still alive. Look at all that stuff growing. And weeds are probably more than I want them to be, but I'm always, like I said, pleasantly surprised at wow, they really do just want to grow.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
And look at all this food.
Right. Yeah. And then whenever I'm ignoring my garden like that, which is full on what I'm doing right now.
Right. Well, you've got the black bean issue.
I'll have to take you outside and show you my black bean issue
you.
Because it's ridiculous. I haven't been in the garden in a good handful of days because I just can't look at it anymore. It's just overwhelming how much of a jungle it is. And I'm always surprised too when I finally get back in there and I finally start cleaning it out. I'm like, oh, this actually isn't that bad. It didn't take that much to clean it out, oh, it's actually okay.
If I just put my head down and work at it dedicate a little bit of time to it, then it takes not as much effort as I thought to whip it back. Yeah. All right. Are we on last but not least?
Last but not least.
Okay. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to try the strange thing or the weird thing or the thing that seems hard.
Right.
And what I mean by that is, when did you start growing potatoes? When you started gardening?
No, absolutely not.
Right. Or onions.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Or garlic.
Right. Those are kind of the weird things that, a lot of people, when they first start gardening, they think, oh, I want to grow tomatoes and cucumbers and bell peppers.
Right.
Your
main staples that you're buying at the grocery store every week. Right.
Right.
That's what people want to do.
Try the potatoes. Try growing a few onions.
Yeah.
Try making your own compost.
Yes.
And not giving up and sticking with it and actually seeing it through, because it actually, you can really make compost.
And it's amazing when you do it. And you're going to be like, oh, I did it. Oh my gosh, I did it.
Right. Or like maybe the whole swamp water thing just sounds really bizarre to you. Don't be
it's
afraid
a little
of
bizarre.
it. It's a little weird and it stinks, but it's so good.
It works so well. I want everybody to do it.
Right. So don't be afraid to try those different things or
Yeah.
those hard things. And it might turn out really great. It might be something that flops, but even if it's something that flops, you'll probably learn something from it.
Yeah, that kind of goes with like, don't be afraid to fail in the garden too.
Right.
There's your bonus.
Bonus.
Don't be afraid to fail, because failure just means learning. Like,
Yep.
was it Thomas Edison? Yes, it was Thomas Edison. Somebody asked him, like, he had like 2,000 failures of finding the filament to the light bulb that would work, right?
Right.
And somebody said, how does it feel to, have failed so many times before you found the right? I don't even know if he had found the right one when it was asked of him. And he says,
Right.
well, I know 2,000 ways not to do it now. So moving on.
That's right. I've actually heard that before. I thought that was really interesting. So
Yeah, it is interesting, and it is the way to be. It is like, you can't be afraid to fail. Like, fear will just immobilize you, right?
that's right. Try again.
Yes.
All right. Well, I guess that is it. That's is our top 10 things that we wish we would have known when we first started gardening, and plus a bonus.
Yeah. All for you. We failed for you. We went through the hard stuff so you don't have to. So there, take it.
That's right. So thanks for being here with us today. We will be back next week,
Yep.
and we have no idea what we're talking about, but we'll be here.
We'll be here.
Bye.
Bye.